Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox. With me is Ben Olson. We're the founders of lsatdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We've got an email here from Blake asking about competitive cycle affecting the following years. I think Blake is going to be asking us to speculate about the future.
Okay. Hello, Demon Team. I hope you're doing well. I'm writing because I've heard a lot of discussion about how competitive the last two admission cycles have been, and I'm trying to understand how that might affect applicants in the next few years. I know you've talked about regression to the mean, but I'm curious about how this plays out in terms of admissions outcomes and scholarship trends. If GPAs and LSAT scores for admitted students increased during these unusually competitive cycles, how does that influence expectations for the following cycle? I already have my best LSAT score and my application materials prepared, and I plan to submit my applications in September of 2026. I'm wondering whether applying early in a post-competitive cycle could shape how my application is evaluated across the year. Thank you for any insight you can share. I really appreciate the information you provide and the clarity your podcast brings to the admissions process. Thoughts on any of
that? If I just flipped 3 heads in a row, how does that impact the next flip?
It does not affect it.
No, it does not affect it. So when we talk about regression to the mean, all we mean is we don't know.
Yeah. What about like, there are demographic trends, right? Students going to undergrad is going down, and presumably that's a source for law school applicants.
Yeah, I think that's, it's going to be a trailing thing, but I think we just got over like the peak undergrad, right? Because there's actually 2 trends. There are fewer kids.
Yes.
And college is getting less popular. If college is getting less popular, then law school presumably should also get less popular because there's just fewer people who are even around to apply to law school.
Yeah.
That said, it's already only like a small subset of undergrads who even consider applying to law school. And we don't want to commit the whole to part fallacy there, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it is possible that you could have, even if the pie for undergrads is shrinking.
Yep.
The LSAT law school slice of that pie could be increasing enough to counteract the trends that are going against it.
Sure. There may be other factors that play a much bigger or outsized role, right?
Yeah.
AI could undercut interest in law. It could increase interest in law.
Bad economy, people losing their jobs could increase, in some cycles, like think back to 2008, all of a sudden we saw a spike in law school applicants because there just weren't jobs for new undergrads. And
not that it's rational.
No, it's quite irrational, actually. But people do act irrationally.
Yeah.
The thing I really want to say to Blake more than anything else is that this shit does not matter to you. What are you going to do about it, Blake? You've already said that you're going to apply in September of 2026. You already have your best LSAT. Your GPA is in the books. The only thing you can do, Blake, is just apply broadly and see what kinds of offers you actually get.
Yeah, I think Blake is wondering if applying like later in the cycle would have some benefit, right? So Blake says,
yeah,
how does that influence expectations for the following cycle? In other words, yeah, sure. If you're a law school and your numbers go up and they're going to need to come down the next cycle because there's a contraction, but you're not ready for that, sure, they might hold on to these higher expectations and hope that they can achieve the same numbers that they did last year. But one, they're analyzing their data as it comes in constantly. So I think they're going to get disabused of that notion pretty quickly if there is that change. We don't even know if there's going to be that change. But if there is, I think that they will adjust course. The other thing you got to keep in mind is it's still better for you to apply early because if they don't give you the best offer they could have given you, there's still an opportunity for them to give you a better offer later as long as you don't accept. Right? Like it's only earlier is only better for you because it just gives you more time to get more information and either accept a overly generous offer for the cycle because they overshot, or wait and ask for more money if you think there is some
Yeah.
reason for you to get a better
Oh
offer,
yeah.
that they were too stingy up front because they thought they could do better.
Yeah.
Fine, ask for more, hold out, because
Yeah.
the economics will push it in your favor.
I think earlier is purely better for you because you don't have to accept any offer. Right? You're all you're going to do is find out what offers are even open to you. Like the
Yeah.
earlier you apply, the earlier you find out who's going to be interested and what price they're going to try to charge you on their first offer.
Yep.
So it's only good for you to get that information sooner. Also, different schools do different strategies in different cycles. So some schools are going to try to cash in on the influx of applicants by like lowering their admission standards basically and just like admitting more people, growing their class size so that they can rake in tuition.
Yeah.
Other schools are going to respond to an influx of applicants by seeing it as an opportunity to raise their admission standards to climb the rankings. Oh, we're going to be more selective because we have more applicants. It can go either way. And
Yeah.
schools, depending on like the administration change, depending on the financing at the school, the broader university,
Mm-hmm.
like do they need money to build a new basketball stadium?
Yeah.
Well, okay, if they do, then they might tell the law school, hey, we need you to ship us money.
Yeah.
But if you apply, Blake, to 20 schools early in the cycle, then you just give them opportunities to make you attractive offers.
Yeah. More opportunities.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. I guess I never thought about this before, but don't you think that late applications are actually good for the law schools? I would imagine that law schools love late applications.
Oh, well, absolutely. They have way more information. They know what they can say yes or no to, and they get to say no to things they know they don't want anymore.
Yeah.
And then that bumps their what is it? That's
Their
something. It's not
their
their
yield.
yield. But does
Yeah.
that bump their yield? Or
Well,
because yield is how many accept their acceptance, right?
yes. So there's yield and there's also like just their admissions rate, right? So
Their selectivity or something.
yeah, their selectivity. So everybody they deny helps them. So
Yeah.
if you apply with bad numbers late, okay, they've got two choices now, right? They can either deny you, which helps them, or they can look at you, realize how desperate you are. If you're applying in March or whatever, it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. So this person, they're not Blake, who has decided to apply broadly at the beginning of the cycle. This is somebody who's like just barely trying to squeak in at the end of the cycle. Oh, so they know that you haven't already accepted some great offer from somewhere else. So now
You're
they get
more
a choice.
willing to pay.
Yeah, they can either decline you or they can admit you and try to charge you full price. Either way, that works out great for them. Because if you say yes and pay them full price, that's a win. So yeah, I would think that it really is like a zero sum here. The earlier, this is all, by the way, with a fixed LSAT score. If you already have your best LSAT, if you don't already have your best LSAT, then that's a different discussion. Take the time to get a better LSAT.
Yeah.
But if your LSAT is fixed, like Blake's is, it's purely better for you and worse for the schools for you to apply earlier in the cycle. So, forget about, oh, last cycle was competitive. Does that mean this next cycle is going to be more competitive or less competitive? Or we don't know. I just can't predict the newspaper tomorrow. So I can't predict what the stock market's going to do tomorrow. And I can't predict what's going to happen in demand for legal education tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I do know that students who apply with their best LSAT earlier in the cycle tend to get better offers. So you should just apply broadly, Blake, and just by this time next year, you should be having offers rolling in. Not from all schools. Yale might not start sending out any admits until January, February, whatever. But some schools are going to be out there aggressively trying to make scholarship offers in November and December. So you've got less than 12 months, I think, Blake, until you've already got some offers in hand. You've got more like 15 or 16 months until you really know what your best offers are going to be. So just be patient. Get those applications in at the beginning of the cycle. I think nothing but good things are going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.